What's good?
Hey, this your boy Cheeko FUE, man. We in the building from the float to the motherfucking ceiling.
All right, what's been up, bro?
Just came back from Florida. I just seen my little brother. I ain't seen him in 18, 19 years, man.
Let me start off. We're going to do this differently. What's good? This is Kelby Cannon, publisher of Makin It Magazine, founder of the membership, and we are live and direct with Nastasity.
Boy! Hey, look, boy, this your boy Miss. You know you got to reinvent yourself every couple of years, right? So we Cheeko FUE, you know what I'm saying? We went to prison. We had to lay down, sleep a couple sleeps, wake up, finally get released, reinvent. Cheeko FUE came through. Now we going from Duval to Dade, Brown to Howard, and from Atlanta to Mayberry, goddammit. And we in the building from the floor to the motherfucking ceiling. Fight!
For the people who are not from Atlanta, because that's the only way I can imagine someone not knowing who you are, not having bumped into you. Let them know who you are.
Man, listen, we moving and grooving, we booving and tuving, we maintaining and campaigning, not complaining, we shaking hands, we kissing babies, we done ran the routes, we done scored the touchdowns, we done put the points on the board, we done took some W's, we done took some L's, we done fell in the dirt, we done picked ourselves back up, we done crawled back to the top, no ladder. What that powder is they put on their hands before they start rock climbing, all of that there, you feel me? We done climbed back up to the top. We here, you feel me? We here.
All right.
Any city I go, not to cut you off, any city I go to, I make my presence be known. So it ain't just Atlanta, it ain't just Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, it's Immokalee, it's Nashville, Tennessee, it's Memphis, it's Indiana, it's Chicago, it's everywhere.
All right.
It's everywhere.
So here's a question I got for you.
Talk to me.
Like, we're going to start. Have you always been a habitual line stepper?
Damn.
Like, since I've known you, you've been a habitual line stepper.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I have always been a habitual line stepper.
Yeah.
You gotta step, but it's not a bad thing though. It just depends on it depends on the intentions, right? If you got flawed intentions, then it's gonna be taken away where it's not respected.
Right.
I think like people see my work ethic and not just see it, but they feel it.
Right.
So if I cross the line, it's respected rather than like, damn, he just tried me. Because it's never, I'm never doing anything to intentionally make somebody feel less of a person, less of a man, less than a woman, less of themselves.
Right.
That never crosses my mind like, how can I get over on somebody? But what does cross my mind is, how can I make the best out of the situation that I'm about to put myself in?
Got you.
And that's what goes through my mind. So even in the back of my mind, it's not like, damn, I'm about to cross the line. It's just like, damn, I'm about to just work harder than somebody else.
Right. Because in a former life, when we first connected, you had a placement on our promo CD that we take down to Austin every year during South by Southwest.
$50, send me 300 pieces.
Yeah, pieces like flyers, wristbands, something, whatever. This man sent like flyers with Ziplocs and cigarellos, and it was a whole package within a package.
I had a blunt endorsement. Listen, I had a blunt endorsement deal at the time. Had to get those out there. I had all, my merch game is crazy, from the stickers to the buttons to the flyers to the CDs.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I got it, packaged everything, and got it over there, man.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, cause we didn't meet on South by Southwest. But I tell you something so funny, like people was running up to me, cause I still had the cutouts then too, and they like, the stars are and in my head I'm like, what the fuck, these people going crazy. Yeah. I'm like that. Then I'm seeing this shit around. I'm like, oh, okay, these people like, they know something.
Yeah.
So I tip my hat to you. Like I always tell people, even my brother and that came with me to Texas, and like even like down my path and in my story, like I give you so much flowers and credit. You might not have heard it or seen it, but even I tell you, bro, like I have a different type of respect for you. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was in prison, I was still talking to you. Like it's different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I remember there was a time where I like looked at myself like a rapper, right?
Right.
But now I'm just who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just this creative spirit, and God blessed me to just do a lot of different things, even though I only wanted to do one thing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, how could I push the ceiling up and not disrespect people, but at the same time still do more than what anybody else is willing to do?
Right.
Because you got people that listen to the rules and they break the rules because they like, fuck the rules.
Flagrant. Just flagrant with the shit where it's like disrespect. That's why even as you were saying, like I couldn't be mad at, because it wasn't like I said send 300 pieces and you sent 1,000 pieces. You sent 300 pieces, but in a way where it was like, and I really couldn't get, I was like, motherfuckers always game in the system. But then, like when I got to Austin, like as soon as we touched down, because like I had to package them up differently because your stuff was so bulky. So we had this big ass box. I think this was the year like someone had drove in the crowd or some crazy shit back during South by. So it was like weird. But like I had to go to the UPS store because I had to ship the box freight down because your stuff was all bulky. So but I remember when we first hit down and we passing them out, and then someone like, yo, I need one of them bags with the blunt wrap in it. And I was like, well, it all works out.
Give me one.
So I was like, hey, we all winning together. Like,
yeah, for real. And that's like, it's like ends up being a mutual respect. Like, okay, he working for real.
Yeah.
Because you know, you always got that skepticism. Somebody say they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
So on the same token, like, when I get there, I'm like, okay, is this shit really being passed out? Right. And then I see it because it's people like, because you know, I came with the banner and the cutout, so they see the logo on the banner. They're like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, it worked.
Yeah.
He working.
Yeah.
And then like, even fast forward, I seen you at 2 other spots, but that when we finally met was in Memphis at the Hard Rock.
oh shit, the Ed and them used to do the MMG, the Music Memphis group.
Correct. Nigga Rankin had Whoop. With a pussy nigga.
Yeah.
That's where I met Kia Shine. Shout out to Kia Shine.
Yeah.
So crispy. And I said, and I didn't even approach you like that. I'm like, hey, where you got that at? And you like, man, is this you or son? I'm like, man, are you so and so? And you like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, oh shit, you motherfucker. And I'm like, you motherfucker, you still got my shit. So it's like you still had the shit. Obviously, I OD'd and sent a lot, so you still had shit, but you still working, and I'm still working too. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I be saying, like, I put my own socks on, my own shoes on, my own drawers on. Like, the shoes that I put on, the size is so perfect because I'm able to walk in my exact footsteps.
Right.
And I don't press time to move faster than it need to be. Like, I just be maintaining and keeping that work ethic up.
And like, so yesterday was a little rough day for me, bro. Like, so I found out Rah passed. Right. And it's like, but it's like the 3rd artist that I've worked with in the past 30 days that I found out has passed.
Right.
And so it was like, just like thinking about stuff. Like I had, real close personal friend, had a medical issue. Like I thought he was about to be like, so it's just stuff going on. And, but like, was just sitting up writing a post and I was about to post it, but it's just in consideration, I'm always joking around. I play a lot.
Right.
Sometimes too much.
Too much, yeah. It don't bother me,
but no, we joke because you joke.
It bothers people.
Some people, like,
I can feel that.
And that's why, like, in that, I feel you. You feel me? Like, you aren't, like, you serious. Like, I'm serious, but it ain't that serious because all this is temporary.
Correct.
And
we know that.
Yeah, and that's it. Understanding that, and that's like, for me, it's like understanding that, like what you were saying, finding the right shoe for you.
Right.
And so, like, I changed my whole business model, like, probably 3-4 years in, just so I could be me.
Right.
So I could be genuine. Like, I hate the music industry. Because too many egos, too much fake stuff. I don't like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, like, I tell people all the time, I'm in the people industry. So, anyone that we support, that we feature in the magazine, that we've done anything for, is because I genuinely want to see them succeed and be successful. So, when I see people we work with and, like, stuff happen, it hit a little different because these is people that I genuinely fuck with.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's a different level of vibage.
Yeah, it ain't like, oh, it's a customer. Like it's like, yo, what the fuck happened? So a couple months ago, scrolling through Instagram, and I'm like, Cheeko at it making content again.
Yo, you don't know how many people thought that was fake.
Yeah.
I'm like dying in a hospital bed and they like, bro, this is a fire skit.
Yeah.
I'm like dying. You can see the crust around my lips. I'm like, yeah, I just woke up. I'm about to pull through. And they like, fucking go,
Like,
bro.
yo, who did the makeup? Yeah. Like wardrobe. Like they really got that content house popping.
Yeah,
Like
right, yo. I'm trying to tell
so
you.
for the people who don't know, like let's tell the people what happened.
May 31st, I'm driving on 285 and I'm doing 60, 65, and everybody knows on 285 you probably should be doing 80 or 100.
Yeah, I was about to say, doing 60 on 285.
Listen, I'm on a speakerphone call,
Okay.
so the phone like this,
Right.
and I'm driving like this. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the far left lane, and out my corner of my eye, I see a white two-door SUV cut me off from way over there. You can't go no more left.
Right.
And they start going 65 in front of me.
Right.
At that moment, I'm like, not really paying no attention. But as I reflect, it looked like they trying to make me get to my driver's side to their passenger side as I reflect.
Right.
Obviously, I didn't budge. I'm tuned into this phone call with my brother, Patrick Smiley. Shout out to Felprint. So they get to my passenger side. So now it's they driver to my passenger.
Right.
And I see a female. They windows is down, my windows is up. I don't know if they cursing me out. I don't know what they doing. Maybe they're not saying, I don't know. So they riding with me going 60, 62, 63.
Right.
You know, 285,
Right.
we doing 100,
Yeah.
easy. So after a few minutes of that, they get behind me. And when I look up in my rear view, I said, dawg, what the fuck is they doing behind me now? Like now I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I noticed the passenger got their head down, so all you see is these two-tone dreads. You feel me? Could have been somebody I know. You know, a lot of people show me love, but how much of it is real? And how much of it is fake? Yeah. And how much of it could be somebody hating me being me or me being able to be me and them not being able to be them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been anybody, right? So they go from behind me and now they back my passenger to their driver. And I don't even hear the gunshots, but I see the holes in my arm. Mm-hmm. After I notice the holes, I immediately feel the hot blood and you can smell it and it's disgusting. Mm-hmm. And then I hear the gunshots. Like how it happened, I didn't hear it until after I said, I just got hit. And my brother like, what? You ain't get hit. I'm like, bitch, I just got shot. He like, huh? You just got shot? Because he ain't hear anything either. Yeah. So they try to get up out of there. So I get up out of there with them. Now I'm chasing them. I'm trying to do some evil Knievel. Right. Tip, they tap, something flip out. It's just, and I know I hit about 100. And when I hit 100, I got my phone in my hand and then I felt myself blank. But before I went totally out and went unconscious, I blanked and I seen an exit. I hit the first exit. I know I threw that wheel. When I woke up, the car's in drive, the car's totally stopped. Because on the new cars, once you open the door, the car won't drive no more. Right. So somehow the door swung open.
He still had to let you know he got that new shit. Go ahead.
Right. And I even got the newer shit now. And the next one coming in 6 months is even newer shit. And the other one I got is so new, and that bitch is totaled already. So just know that this motherfucking shit is not lacking. That rapper shit I be rapping, that shit be for real. Hey, so the door swung open. Right. The car is totally stopped, but is in drive. Mm. Smoke out the car, shoes off. Not in the car, outside the car, like one under the tire, one somewhere else. Puddle of blood in the front and in the back on the floor. You couldn't even see the floor. And no phone. And all you see is like the UPS man drive by and he slows down and he goes, "Hey, you all right?" And I'm like, "Bitch, I got shot." So I'm looking for the phone that's under the seat. When I pull it out, I can't even dial. I'm wiping it off. It's so mucky of blood. Get the ambulance. They come. I'm telling them I need water. The police give me this hot-ass bottle of water. It's burning my throat. I tell the police, "Man, I got to take a shit." The crackers tell me, "Hey, shit on your pants." I said, "Boy, y'all ain't gonna get me like that." Even in a moment of death, like I'm still have a spot in my brain where I can still have a sense of humor. I'm not thinking about heaven or hell. I'm thinking about hurry up, get me to the hospital. I got work to do, you feel me? Apple comes to the hospital the day after I get put in the hospital. We shoot the video, we record the music, we do the photo shoot. I got the whole hospital looking at me like I'm nuts. And then I'm here, I'm alive. You know, it's a work in progress, but we alive, we here.
All right, now are you familiar with what is his name?
What is his name?
Juicy Smouye.
Juicy Smouye.
Yeah, Juicy Smouye.
Smell like a restaurant.
Orange. Was it Jesse
Smollett.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those who've said that you've pulled a Jesse Smollett on us.
But I wish I could pull a Jesse.
You hired 2 Nigerians to go to Ace Hardware.
All right. Hey, look. First of all, I want to thank God, right? I'm going to tell you something. You know we got genes from a higher power because we got the power of will. Willpower is what kept me alive, bro. I was supposed to be dead when I went unconscious. I was not supposed to come back. I gathered my own self and came back, bro. And y'all can say what y'all want to say, but when them police had that car for 50 days under investigation, like I had kilos in the car.
Right.
When I got that car back, I got bullet holes everywhere. I got the whole inside of the car ripped to shreds. I'm around there with one arm when this shit wasn't even moving, putting the shit back together myself. Man, Jesse Smollett my ass. A lot of people don't make it out of what I made it out of, but I ain't gonna lie, I beat death so many times. You might have heard this, you might have not. My father, I'm born in Gary, Indiana, in January 13 on a Friday. When my mother water broke, my father made her walk to the hospital to Gary Methodist to deliver me. And that's where I get my strength from, my mama, bro. She walked to the hospital to deliver her son. I beat cancer. They went over a bridge, big car accident. They thought I flew out the window. After the whole situation, they found me under the seat, a little baby tucked under the seat. Beat that. I done beat getting set up. I done beat getting snitched on. I beat prison. I beat death. I'm here. This is the willpower. We get a gene from God called the power of will. People don't know how much it is. And I believe that because I ain't reached my peak yet, like, he was like, "Nah, go ahead and do your thing." But I'm gonna allow you to cross paths with the killer. And see what you do. And if you make the wrong decision, you're going to take steps back because I'm going to have to make sure you go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life is a test. I know that.
What do you feel like the purpose is at your peak? Like what is it that you feel like in your heart that you meant to do?
What I've been doing, and it have nothing to do with music, it have nothing to do with content, it has something to do with my grind and my hustle. And what it is curving people to be themselves and inspire people to be themselves, but them knowing they don't have to do anything that I did to be who they are. You know, it's not you becoming a doctor, but having to sell dope to be a doctor. You watch me sell all this dope, and you watch me hustle all these years, and you like, damn, I just gotta hustle, go to school, and I could be a doctor. Then you become a doctor. or a chef, or a videographer, or a school teacher, or a fucking physical education person. You know what I'm saying? So I've got the messages, you inspire me to be this person. Because of you, I quit my job and I decided to do what I love. That's what made me smile, is seeing other people happy in they present self.
Right.
Because I had to go through all these losses to be the best version of myself, which is right now today, but I still haven't reached the peak of the best version of myself, you feel me?
Right.
And people have seen all the struggle and they've made it to where they wanted to go by watching me struggle and taking what I did right and seeing what I did wrong, but not taking that baggage with them.
Right. You know, it's interesting you brought up something like just that made me think about, like, I joke about I want to start a super group with artists from the site and call it RWJ and play off the NWA thing. Mm-hmm. It's rappers with jobs.
Right.
Because it's like, meet so many people in the industry, so many people pursuing these careers and this goal in music, but it's like so many people hide the fact that they got a job or work a gig and stuff, like, but everybody got bills. People got kids, people got, life. And so it's just like that, going into what you were saying, just how people being uncomfortable being them. And it's like social media content, like so much stuff is just like, you ain't shit if you got a job. You ain't got shit if everybody owns a McDonald's, then who's working on fries?
Right.
Like, everybody can't be the boss because then there's nobody the boss. Like,
well, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, not only my mother, I get my straight from my mother, but I heard her say some real ass shit one day that made me realize, like, there's a place for everybody.
Yeah.
And my mother went to school to be a photographer. Mm-hmm. So she had that under her belt. Mm-hmm. And she started working TSA, but taking pictures for TSA and publishing them. TSA will publish them, but she's not getting paid or nothing from that. And I said, Mom, why you just don't start your own business, photography business, blah, 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 blah. And she said, son, everybody's not meant to be a boss. Mm-hmm. I'm perfectly fine being a worker bee. Yeah. And I thought to myself, I said, damn, this lady just blew my mind, because she could admit that, not have an excuse like, she like, son, I'm totally comfortable being this worker bee that I am. And I said, yo, my mama just said that, bro. Yeah. Listen, my mama been hit with me. Remember those old throwback 10-speed bikes with the thin wheel with the circle handlebar? Yeah. Dog, we didn't have a car when I was growing up. We had that bike, and she had a little car seat on the back. My mama been hit on that bike, messed up her whole back. She been hit on that same bike twice, bro. Like, the strength I pull from my mama, just being who she is it allows me to be able to coin a phrase like, I stopped selling dope and started selling hope. Because, dog, if you make music and you love music and you've paid to make music, right? You haven't got paid to make music, but making music costs.
Right.
As long as you got a job and pay your bills, who give a fuck if you paying to make music, because you love to do it anyway? And that's the problem with society. Like you say, people don't think it's cool to have a job, but guess what? I'm able to keep my bills paid, make music, the music I want to make, love, put it out, distribute it, and still gain fan access. Like, there's no way to beat that.
That's the other thing. Like, so for me, like, the whole thing with the magazine and our platform, like, we connect tastemakers and talent. But for me personally, like, my thing when I say I want to see people succeed is not necessarily monetarily. It ain't like everybody got to make $1 million, $100 million. Like, for me, success is just being happy.
Happy.
That's it.
Success is happiness.
That's it.
Correct.
And so it's like, when an individual gets to a point where they're comfortable in their skin and they're doing the things that they actually love doing, and like being able to make the music, like someone chasing that monetary success makes music that they don't like, that ain't reflective of them, because they trying to catch a hit. Right. That's what they doing now. I got to do something for the TikTok, then I got to do something for the strip club. And they're like, bro, you don't even be at the strip club. Right. Like, and they get in these spaces of trying to, whatever they saw work for someone else. And that's one of the things, like, even with your music, like, I know what I'm gonna get from a Cheeko record, and you always deliver what I expect. And it's like, but as a creative, you explore, like sonically, you explore. You like even like the other record when we was I don't even know what we was in here doing. We was doing a live stream, and it was like some melodic stuff, and no one knew it was you. Like it was like, that's Cheeko, like. So it's just like, but it's sonically it sounded different, but then it's like when you listen to it, it's Cheeko.
Yeah, right.
Like, you feel me? And so just coming to that place where like when you understand what success is, it makes it easier to understand your purpose for the people who really doing music for the right reasons.
But the money, it's never been the money that made me happy. I've always knew like we just need money to pay bills and stay afloat, but that's not. I'm about to get an award on September the 2nd from a doctor, not a doctor that does incisions, a PhD doctor who got the #1 children's book in the world, who turned a children's book into a play, and I'm proud to call him my brother, Michael Johnson. Shout out to Michael Johnson. And when I had my son, my mother put me out the house because I wasn't even 18 yet, and I lived in my car, in my Cadillac, and I was still going to school.
Still had to let you know he had that shit.
Hey, Cadillac, white leather interior, white. And Micah lived with me in my Cadillac.
Okay.
Because, you know, he wasn't able to be at his house, and he had nowhere to go.
Right.
And he wrote about me in his freaking school papers, and he taught about me in his classes when he became a professor. And he spoke about me in his graduation speech, and now he's about to give me an award because he says I'm his hero. So I'm about to get this hero award because I always lived the life I wanted to live and not the life somebody else put on me or thought I needed to live or anything like that.
Right.
It's hard to live free, especially in today's society when everything is money.
No.
PUSS, double Y, WWW. You get what I'm saying? Like,
No.
and for me to still be consistent at being who I am, and that's the joy I get out of doing what I do. Like, that's where the consistency comes in at. To me, it don't matter if it's music, movies, comedy. I don't care. But back in the day, it was just music because I lived this hardcore lifestyle, right?
Right.
And even though up to this point I still live a hardcore lifestyle, it's more me overstanding like my gift is not being able to rap, is being able to survive, and in surviving, being able to do the things that I love to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not out there telling people go kill the block, go rob the old ladies, go scam millions. I'm not telling people that. I just give them my stories because I've had so many life lessons that I learned through living, fumbling, stumbling, falling on my dick, getting back up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the testimony right there. Like,
you know, here's the thing. It was like, and I think this is a thing that's kind of missing, and I like having this conversation with you. In this, the music relates to who it needs to relate to.
right.
And it's like, but when we have an interview, when someone talks to you, meet you, it's like you a whole person.
Correct.
And I think it's kind of where we get in this space in the entertainment industry where a person just becomes kind of a caricature. Like, whatever it is that I'm on this record, this is the only aspect of me that you can ever see, that I can ever be. Like, I can't do content like this. I can't be dancing. I can't be silly with the kids and stuff. Like, I'm always on go. Like, bro, like you don't smile. You don't like ice cream. Like, just really like that thing. And so to be able to, like, you know, you come from a certain place. You come from, like, you have certain life experiences that make you relate and make other people relate to you. But then through your life and your living, you live your testimony. Like, yo, these are the things that I overcame. These are the things I had to go through. Like, yo, I got a job and I'm doing music. I take care of my family and I do music, and it doesn't take anything away from the quality of your music and who you are as a person.
But a lot of people are not comfortable. Let me say this right. A lot most people in life are not comfortable with the person that they really are or the person that they're going to become because they don't even want to be that person. It's like they forced to be that person. And I could have been forced to be this person. I could have been forced to be that person. But I just stuck to my guns and what I know, and I just kept doing me.
I feel that. So here's the thing. I had a deep conversation. And you told me a lot of the things that you got from the mother, the strength. Friday the 13th, Gary, Indiana, walking to deliver you. Like, the bite, the everything. Told me a lot of stuff that you got from your mother. What's something that you got from your father?
Hustle. My daddy was a hustler. He was a gigolo. The things that I took from my father kept a lot of secrets from me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't learn about a lot like that. The story about my mother walking to the hospital, I just learned about that like 3 years ago. Mm. So imagine how I felt when I heard that. Right. So I came down on him. But he didn't take it away. He accepted it, and he apologized to my mother because even him, he was unaware that it affected her like that. You feel me? Right. Because he was 21, 22. Yeah. And he wasn't giving a damn about anything but running the streets. Right. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I do pull from my daddy, the hustle and bustle, and I'm not just talking about selling no dope, because he never put on me or showed me that side of him, even though that was what he was, the type of time he was on. I never knew that about my father. Right. But what I did know about my father is his ass was always hustling. So what I mean by that is, like, this man used to run a whole seafood restaurant. He ain't go to college to be a sous chef. This man is shucking oysters, making clam chowder from scratch, making Alfredo sauce from nothing. Like, I'm 4 years old, like, watching him run this restaurant owned by this Jewish dude named Steve Schmergel, and he's doing that in the daytime when the restaurant's not open, and then in the nighttime he's serving tables. And then I'm seeing, like, stacks of money in his closet, like,
I want a restaurant.
So what I got from my daddy is hustle, personality. You feel me? I got my strength from my mom. I got my personality from my daddy because I could talk to anybody. Right. I can go into a room with millionaires and hold a conversation. I can go into a room with bums and not feel away and still hold a conversation. Like, my presence with people is the same. I'm not ashamed of this person because they got this much wreck, and I'm not ashamed of this person because they don't got enough wreck. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, everybody's on an even playing field. Everybody gets the same respect. Like, I walk into Quick Trip the other day, it's a dude talking to the hot dogs. Right. And I said, man, cut that shit out, bro. These people in here looking at you like you crazy, and I know you not crazy. I promise you, this man turned around and said, now, Cheeko. I never met this man from a can of paint. But that's God telling me, like, look it, you on the right path. Here's an angel. Boom. The man turned around, points me in the face and say, now, Cheeko, and starts saying something else. And he makes me come with him to the bathroom to keep talking. And when I leave, I'm pumping gas. The man never comes out the gas station. I'm like, what the hell? So, like, stuff like this has always been put in my path for me to be who I am. But that hustle and bustle I get from my daddy, my personality, I could talk to anybody, like, you know.
Here's the thing. It's interesting. It's like us having this conversation, like, for me, you sound very spiritually grounded. Yeah. Like, a lot of it feel like it just comes down to universal law principle, being in tune with your spirituality and the way you look at things. And it's like, I feel like that's something that's difficult to do in the music industry.
Man, I tell you what, my granny was a bruja, that's a witch. In Indiana, she had the mesa downstairs, which is a table, the chicken bones in the bowl. Like, they had the whole night. My granny had statues that would eat food. You wouldn't see them eat the food, but she'll put food there, and when you come back, it's half gone. Like, I'm very spiritually connected. Right. And I'm not talking about that shit that they putting around in people's house.
Right.
I ain't never seen that until I came to Atlanta. What that shit is?
Burning sage and all.
Yeah, this is not. This is, to me, that's devil right there. That's just how I look at it. It might not be, but that's how I look at it, because that wasn't what we had rolling around in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now I'm very spiritually connected, bro, and I understand. I understand perspective, and I let people have their own logic, and that's where the respect comes in. At I don't knock anybody for having their own sense of perspective, man. That's good. I love that.
And that, you know, that's a great like point right there, because it's like when we have, I think it's a lot of opportunities get missed because people trying to prove each other like wrong, or trying to prove that they right. It can, like, man, it's like, and it bringing it even back to the music industry. Like, you know, I've been doing this 20 years, bro. Like, helping artists, working with artists. Like, the magazine 16, I did music for like 4 or 5. I always worked with other artists doing work, consulting stuff. And it's like I'm not confident in the way that I'm doing things. So I gotta convince you that this is the right way. Because if you believe something different, then that underscores the fact that I'm not sure if this is right. So rather than just like, oh, that's the way you want to do it, or that's how you see things, and being cool with it, I gotta try to convince you that this is the way. And so it's like when it's everybody got their own path in this music thing. Like, and that's one of the things, like, yo, Russ did a song a week. Someone else an album might be the right thing for somebody else. Like, an EP might be the right, visuals might be the right thing for somebody, because you don't know anyone's, like, when we have these conversations and we get together and we talk to people, that's why, like, when I do the lives, like, I bring a person in when I give them advice, because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. You know, I'm going to ask a lot of questions before I really, like, well, try this, or what about this? Because we rarely have enough information about anybody's life and what they got going on to give them advice. And so it'd be like when you go to the doctor, it's like the same prescription that could cure you could kill you if you got pre-existing conditions that the doctor don't know about.
Right.
And so it's like, when you say that, it makes me think of that, just the fact that giving people the space to have their own beliefs and just meet people where they are. And it's like understanding, like you said, we all in the same space.
But I tell you what, like, that you said that, truly your confidence should be sky high, because one thing you do that maybe people don't notice or acknowledge, or maybe you don't acknowledge it within yourself, or maybe you have, but the consistent thing is you get people to continue to work. And just like you was just saying, right, Russ does a song a week. This guy might do an album a week. This might do a visual a week. It all has to do with the work ethic. And then how much, like, you might believe in somebody so much, but they don't believe in themselves. So at that point, who cares how much they work? Like, they're just gonna be shooting themselves in the foot. But if you could find somebody that believes in themselves how you believe in them, and you keep motivating them to work, it's gonna happen no matter what. Like the shit say it in the Bible, work plus faith equals success off your gifts, like no matter what. And if you missing one of the two at any given time, it's gonna be dead. And that's some words that I always live with. That's how I'm able to keep on going, because it might not be tomorrow, it might not be in 10 minutes, but eventually it's gonna happen, because I believe so, and I keep putting the work in.
Right.
If I wasn't putting the work in and I believe so, I'll be shooting myself in the foot.
Right.
You feel me? So as long as I keep putting that work in, it's gonna catch. And I know that. That's why I'm okay with how time passes. I'm not like forcing something to happen right this moment, because it's not gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
So I want to give you those flowers, like, just keep motivated people to work, and you won't have to convince them to do this or do that. As long as you convince they ass to keep working, and they actually self-motivated, that's all you really need to do. Now,
that was the reason, listen, that was the whole thing why I would, even, you know, doing the notification videos where I would get people on the live and surprise them with the stuff, because, like, that shit would take so much fucking time out my day to coordinate that shit and try to get them on the live and make sure that they don't know and all this other shit. Then I'd be on the live extra because people got questions. But it was all to get this footage, so because I wanted other people to see those moments. Like, this could just as easily be you. This is an artist just like you. This is a producer just like you. They don't have 100,000 followers. They don't have this. They don't have that. Like, they out here, they just working with faith. And like, that was the whole point of doing that. Cause I like on the same page, just like that work without faith is like a lot of people, like they don't have the faith, and that's what doesn't allow them to put the work in.
Yeah, but people should watch you and use you as I wouldn't say as a stepping stone, but as a step to achievement. Because look, you believed in something. Let's just say this building, right? And then look, you said, okay, I'm gonna start piecing this stuff up. Okay, I want this to be green. I want everything else to be purple. I want that to be green. I want this kind of light. I want to get the fluorescent logo, blah, blah, blah. And now when you come in here, you see green blinds, gray blinds, purple blinds. That's manifestation comes as you work. It just don't come because you want it to come. So you manifested this and then you brought it to reality. And people should be able to use you as a staple of what working plus believing in your work is, because this is, now they can come here, do a podcast, they could come here, do a green screen, purple screen, white screen, come here, go to the studio, come here, have a meeting, you know what I'm saying? And they should be able to use that as a staple, especially the people that's actually in tune, not just the people on the outside, but even the people on the inside that still might not have that total belief or faith in what's going on, you feel me?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a process. But that's, that's why I like doing these interviews, because I think a lot of times, like, I personally like to do a longer form content and get back to the way it used to be, where, like, the interviews really get to know a person. Like, because I learned shit about you today. Like, man, I've been doing this, I ain't know that.
Hey, you don't know what's in the book until you read it.
So, like, nah, definitely appreciate you. It's been long overdue getting up here to get this interview in. I would ask you what you got coming up next, but I don't want you to say nothing, because then it would date this interview. So when I say what you got coming up next, just say greatness.
Let's do it.
What you got coming up next?
Amazing things. Amazing things. So watch out for the most amazing things that's about to happen. Trust me. TRUSTMEH, trust me.
Yo, this is Kel Mechanic, publisher of Makin It Magazine, founder of the membership, and this has been Making It with Cheeko FUE.
Hey, this your boy Cheeko FUE, and we in the building. We going from Duval to Dade, Broward to Howder, from Atlanta to Mayberry, goddammit, from Louisiana with the big hammer. And if you ain't fucking with Makin It Magazine, we ain't fucking with you. Blam, kill yourself, jump off a cliff, whatever.
Habitual line stepper, couldn't just let me get the last word.